What's up, guys? Dave with Miracle Canine Training. So now we are a couple days into Little Bit's follow-up training that he's with us, doing some brush-up work. We're adding some motivation into the mix. This dog, when he was trained before, was trained very well, but trained without any sort of motivation. It was primarily e-collar training, primarily training just with the leash and stuff like that. And there's a couple of positives and a couple of negatives to this, right? So when you have a dog that's trained primarily with the e-collar without much motivation and stuff, the training is very reliable, but it is very dependent on the e-collar initially, right, in those early stages of things. So your dog's gonna understand what to do. You're gonna know that as long as you have that e-collar on, you're gonna be able to communicate very clearly what to do. But when it's not on, a lot of times until this stuff has become totally habitualized for them, they're not quite as reliable, right? So in training things with the e-collar and then also layering the food and the motivation into it, you're kind of starting to add in different degrees of motivation for the dog to do it. So if I don't have food present, I know the dog's gonna still understand what to do due to the e-collar. If I don't have the e-collar present, I know the dog's gonna have a positive association with doing all of these commands and vice versa. So what we're doing here to kind of continue pushing his training in the right direction is we're building food motivation. We've kind of got him on a really consistent schedule as far as when he's eating and when he's training. So he's learning to access all of those meals through rewards. So we have his daily meal right here that we're gonna be working him for. And we're just ultimately starting to build his confidence. If you saw the video from the first day that he was with us, you'll see he was reliable with things. He did all of them, but he was just kind of a little slow through the process. Now, part of that is because he trained probably over a year ago at this point. And then another part of the mix is just due to the fact that, again, there was no motivation present in that training that we did so far. So in brushing up on these things and just kind of giving him a little bit of a tune-up, we're adding that motivation in. So we are now, like I said, about 4 or 5 days into his 2-week brush up with us. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be running him through some of the basics here. We've started to add duration into all of these commands. We've started to add our recalls in to start combining bed stays, down stays, things like that. And we're gonna run him through those things and show you kind of where he's at with things and hopefully continue to see him move in the correct direction here. So take a look. All right, so what we're gonna do is run him through some basic commands. I'm gonna walk him over here a little bit. Come, bed. Get him into command. Got a couple stray pieces of kibble along here just from the last couple dogs we worked. So we'll let him pick those up as we go. Down. I'm really just looking to see him good. Have a fun time here. Start to just kind of loosen up a little bit, kind of run around, play, do his obedience commands. Little bit, come. Good job, buddy. Bed. Again, a couple more pieces of kibble over here that if he stops and picks up, not the end of the world right now. Let him kind of do that as we go. Good. Now, it's always an interesting concept when you have dogs that work with food and you have dogs that work without food, because like I said, you're accessing two completely different parts of the brain. You're accessing the part of the brain where the dog is just kind of going through the motions, a little bit slower and trying to figure out what to do correctly to avoid consequences. Then you have dogs that are figuring out what to do to avoid or to access rewards here. So when you kind of teach them both individually and then pair them together like this, you could really create a nice balance of a dog that understands there's rules and consequences and is very aware and follows those things, but also has kind of that motivation and that drive to work through any stress that's correlated with that. So that's what we're trying to do here. Little bit, come. Good job, buddy. Bed. And you can see again, having a lot more fun than he was, and we're only a couple days into things here. Down. So it's still not gonna look perfect. Good. You're still gonna see him a little hesitant and stuff, but I wanna see continued progress in the right direction. So over the course of the next few days, we could see that motivation continue to build. Little bit, come. Again, a little piece of kibble there. Good job, come on. Bed. Nope, bed. Down. Good. Little bit, come. Good job. Bed. Just keeping it nice and simple, just putting them through some really clear pictures here. Down. Good. Little bit, come. Bed. Again, you see that little hop going. Down. Good. Grab some of these stray pieces here, give him those. And we'll start adding a couple down stays into the mix. Little bit, come. Nope, come. Down. Good. Now I'm purposely not giving any big corrections here right now. I'm just trying to coach him through it because like I said, I'm trying to make sure that we're increasing motivation here and I'm trying to make sure that he's learning then the contrary with the rewards. A little bit, come, bed. So I'm gonna accept a little bit sloppier of training because of that in efforts to build that motivation. So when I go to add the corrections back in, like I said, he has a more clear understanding of what to do. Good. And this is kind of an interesting concept of what we're doing here right now. Down. Good. And something that you guys are gonna see over the next couple of days, how it all kind of starts to come together. Little bit, come. Good boy. Down. Good. Little bit, come. Bed. Down. Good. We'll add one more of those in. Little bit, come. Good boy, come on. Down. Good. Little bit, come. Bed. Down. Good. Little bit, come. Good boy. Down. Good. Little bit, come. Next, we'll see if we can start getting him to follow us around a little bit. Come on, buddy. See if I can keep him in position here. Get him heeling around with me a little bit. And after I do one good lap there, come on, bud. Bed. Take him back to the bed, and we'll try that again. Down. Good. Little bit, come. Good job. Again, doing a couple laps around, getting them to stick with me here. Just shaping all of these commands, building motivation. Come on. A little encouragement if he's lagging behind. I'll pop him on this bed over here. Little bit bed. Down. Good. And then next we're gonna add the doorways into this. Little bit, come. Good job, buddy. So I'm gonna get him to heel around with me. Come on. Straight up to the door, down. Making him do a stationary position at the doorway, good. Come. And then walking him through, come on, buddy. Down. Good. Come. Let's go. And then we'll do one down out here. Come on, dude. Let's go. Down. Good. Good. Come. Good job, buddy. Down. Good. Come. Down. Good. Come. Bed. Down. Good. So again, as you're starting to see a little bit more motivated of a dog, all food work here. Any e-collar stuff, you see he has it on, obviously, we've been using it, but any of the interior obedience right now, I'm using only rewards, or if I'm using the e-collar, it's like a level 1 to 4. So just low enough where there's some sort of perception on it, but not any sort of level that's gonna kill any of that drive. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue increasing that drive. Once I have it at a pretty high point, then I'll start layering those corrections in at a point where I could balance out no increase in drive, but clear understanding of the consequences here. Now, in addition to the interior training that we're doing to brush up on things, we've been really drilling on that walk, as a lot of his issues have been reactivity based. We've gotten him out to a couple of different places. We've gotten him out to Edgewater Park, we've gotten him out to Lakewood Park here, and obviously some of the parks that are in walking distance from here. And he's doing really, really great with the passing by of other dogs and stuff. So we gotta brush up. This is important for some people sometimes, especially if they haven't been as consistent with the process, which is obviously not necessarily his owner's case, but having dogs kind of come back and be able to go through some motions with a trainer and kind of get that hard reset again can be really important if you're having any sort of behavioral issues with your dog. So we'll keep you posted on the process as we continue to move along, but he's on the right track here and we're really happy with how things are going. How are you? Good. No. All right, so obviously we're working through issues at the park here with him. We're working on his general walk. We're working on passing other dogs. Like I said, history of pretty strong reactivity issues. He's doing really great so far, just doing a little bit of brushing up on passing in close proximity. So you could see right there as we pass that one dog, just trying to sniff over a little bit. And the problem is those little details will quickly start to get out of hand. Oops, excuse me. Those little details will very quickly start to get out of hand as the owner misses catching them, or as he repeats them over and over, and it kind of takes it a little further, a little further, a little further. I talk all the time about the sequence of escalation in dog reactivity. And basically what that means is with reactive behaviors, it's not like, you know, there's not a separation between whining or looking or pulling in the direction of, or barking or any of those things, or lunging. Really, in the end of the day, it's a sequence of them. So it starts with the look, then the motion towards the other dog, then the whining, then the barking, then the lunging, right? And the earlier you can catch it in that sequence, so right there, as soon as we got the motion towards, if you could interrupt it right there, you're not gonna have big issues later on because it'll never get past that point. If you could stop that behavior, it never moves on to the next part of the sequence. And that rings really true with all of these dogs we work with and what we try to coach our owners through as we're working on dog reactivity. So again, doing really good. It's raining out right now, but obviously we still have things to work on with him, so we're still plugging away with it.